Hey guys, welcome to the daily analysis for February 20th. It is a Thursday here and it's getting close to a quarter till 4 Eastern Standard Time. And as you can see today, Euro crashing quite a bit, finally coming into that 132.80 zone that we've been talking about as a potential buy. So definitely want to look at that, and then also a few other pairs I want to look at in detail as well. So that's what we're going to do in the daily analysis today. But before we jump into that, let's check our news for tomorrow. Okay, guys, as far as news tomorrow, which is Thursday, you can see that early in the London session we have some Euro news. And considering this Euro, kind of starting reversal now, potentially a break, potentially just setting up for another bounce, any Euro news could definitely be of importance. So I want to pay attention to that. You can see some French news, some German news, 10-year bond auction, which is for Spain. So definitely a lot of mixed Euro news there, and want to pay attention to that. Then later on, of course, because it's Thursday, we have unemployment claims, and so that could be a big event for the U.S. dollar. So of course, when there's U.S. dollar news and the Euro news, Euro U.S. dollar can do some interesting things. And so definitely want to pay attention to that pair and also to this news. And then later on, more USD news, existing home sales, Philly Fed manufacturing index, and that's at 10 a.m. Eastern. Okay, the day finishes up with 5:30 p.m. odd news, and so that's about it for the day. But you can see pretty healthy amount of news throughout the day to keep us, kind of concerned with the markets and how they're going to move. And so make sure that you're paying attention with all of that. All right, guys, and then I just want to go over the terms really quickly. And basically, what the terms say is that the daily analysis is for educational purposes only. It's not to be taken as investment advice. It's not to to come in here and see what we say and then go risk all your money on that, because according to the rules that the government has in place, all we can do is share our personal opinions. We can't be telling you what to do with your money. So please don't misunderstand that. And if you need to, go ahead and read through all those terms. Okay, so getting back to this euro dollar daily, you can see, basically from the top here near 137.50, the euro has had a really nice move down, a couple little minor pullbacks and then good continuations, and now we're getting right into our area, which could serve as a potential buy zone. Basically, that's 132.70, 132.75, depending on exactly where you have it, but you can see right in this price range. And so now we're at a point where we could definitely see a bounce. And the question is, is it going to actually turn around and form a bounce? Right now, there's a lot of momentum to the downside, so buying is probably pretty dangerous. And there's the potential, of course, that we could crash through. So what I want to look for here is a rejection of this area. A nice, maybe a tail that comes actually a little bit through it and then rejects it, and a strong bullish bar forming right back through above the 23.6 level. Definitely want to get above the 23.6 level and closing like above 133.40. And then if we get that bullish continuation looking bar, then I would immediately look to go long and try to drive this thing all the way back up into this 137.50 area, with a pretty nice risk reward potential type trade. And definitely looking forward to that potential if we get the candle. Now, one thing to note is that I have my trend line built in here pretty tight so that it touches these levels. However, trend lines are very adjustable, so you could say that it comes down here and we'd be a little bit away from the trend line yet. So depending on exactly how you draw this, there's a little bit of room, and that's why nothing is actually a line, it's always zones. And so keep an eye on this euro dollar. It has a little bit of room here left to channel and chop around, but if we get a nice bullish move from anywhere in this area, I'm definitely going to be thinking long on the euro dollar. And speaking of pairs that are crashing, you can see the pound dollar, just an amazing continuation move today, as we opened above 154 and went all the way down to 152 on today's daily bar. Just to give you a pip count, that bar is about 230 pips from top to bottom on the pound dollar. So a really monster bar. And again, this is the level that I talked about that I thought price was going to at least head to. And the question is, were we going to get a great bounce off this level, or perhaps the break and go toward much lower prices? And so at this point, I think that's still yet to be determined. We could easily get a rejection back up and start targeting toward the middle area here, or complete this massive sideways market all the way back up to 163. But really, I haven't determined whether I'm biased toward the short side or the upside. on the pound dollar, because we just have one daily bar that has touched that area so far, down at 152.80. And so the question is, are we going to get a rejection? Are we going to set up here, maybe retest and continue? What is going to form now that we've finally gotten to this level? And so basically the only way to determine that is to kind of wait for these bars to develop, see if we do get maybe a nice strong retest and then a bearish continuation that closes below 152. That would be a great bearish sign. If you scroll back, let me do a really far scroll here, you can see how long we've been in this range. It wasn't until 2010 that we've been on the downside of this range. A few times up here on the upside, but not on the downside of this range. So pretty critical level here, and we're talking about moving toward levels that have not been touched in 3 years. And so this could definitely be a big impact on the pound dollar and a long-term trading potential. So we'll keep a close eye on this pound. Odd is another one falling. As you can see, the US dollar strength also affecting the odd, as it's breaking lower. Nice little retest, or excuse me, not a retest, but a pullback here from this steep move. Once it was getting down in this area, I thought that it was going to continue toward this 1017 area with ease, but we got this minor pullback, and now we're seeing the continuation. So we'll see if it can break through the bottom here. Shouldn't be a major level, but it looks like price does want to get back toward this level. Just a matter of if it's going to fight at that level at all. So that's something to keep an eye on. But the longer term view here is if we get a break of this level, because once you break this level, there's not a ton of resistance and support clusters in the way that will cause price to struggle. It's a lot of free ranging movement to get down toward 96 area, which is obviously a lot of pips. So definitely something to look for on the odd if we can get some more of this continuation. If the dollar remains strong and the odd breaks through, we'll have some great trade potential there as well. A couple days ago, I talked about the USD CAD, the potential break to the upside, since it did close above basically 1009, which is right here. So it did close above that level, and now we're seeing the complete continuation all the way through 61.8, which was the other level I mentioned. So basically what I'm looking for here is if the USD CAD gets a retest or something to continue going higher. I'm now pretty bullish on this pair, thinking that we have a lot of potential, that this thing could head up, go to 103, maybe even 104 on the USD CAD. And so pretty excited about the potential here. What would be really nice as if the USD CAD continued and the euro dollar turned around, and that way I could be long and short on the US dollar with some potential for both trades. Those are always positions I like to be in. So that's something that's appealing to me. Now, of course, because the US dollar is so strong across the board, everything that goes against the US dollar is going to look like a lot of momentum, but you can't take every trade or else you're just going to kill your risk on the US dollar. So you have to be careful, which is one of the reasons I like doing the hedge opportunity. If the euro were to bounce and the USD CAD were to continue, I think that would be great trade potential. And so that's something I'm looking closely at. But the USD CAD definitely showing some strong signs of potential here. Euro pound today started off really strong because of all that pound weakness, but then as the euro really weakened a lot, we see that it has come down, and it's actually looked like it might close below this base, or excuse me, this top here at 87. And so finally thought we were going to break through that 87, but looking like it may close right below and actually just start pushing price right back down, perhaps into the 85-75 area. So this could continue to be a channel. We'll see, but euro pound looking like a little reversal pin bar at this point. Alright, and lastly, guys, for the day, I just want to cover this US Yen real quickly. There's not a lot to say here because it's been very neutral since basically the beginning of February when it broke up above 92. It's been pretty neutral, kind of just channeling in between here. And now that the US dollar has got some strength, the yen is also getting strong, and so we're not making a lot of ground in either direction there. So until we make a move here, whether that means starting a reversal and heading lower or breaking through our next level, there's just not a lot to do with the USD yen. So it's definitely one I'm still watching, still excited about the potential because the yen has moved so much, but just not ready to do anything yet until we get a clear break either to the upside or the downside. And again, an emphasis on clear break because you can see that there's some small, little bars here, and so just a small kind of gradual move above here is not going to make me believe that this thing is really ready to go to the next level. It would have to be a very clear, momentum-filled break, and then I would think about possibly taking a trade in whatever direction it was that break occurred. Okay, So that's it for the USD Yen, and that's it for the analysis, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope it was helpful. And leave comments and questions if you don't mind. Take a minute to share it on Facebook, Twitter, all that stuff. I really appreciate it, and we as a team here at Winner's Edge really appreciate it.